Thanks so much. So in the memo that the White House released, you pointed to a stronger economic recovery from the pandemic compared to other major economies, lots of good jobs, and putting the middle class in a better position than it was pre-pandemic. But which of the policies, the president's policies, specifically led to those outcomes?
So I think the sum total of the president's policies, the 4 historic pieces of legislation that he's passed, along with a slew of administrative actions together, are leading to investments in industries of the future. They're leading to great new job opportunities, and we see those in places like Weirton, West Virginia, where we're seeing an iron ore battery plant opening on the site of an old mill that, when it shut down, lost jobs in that area. And of course, we're also seeing it in the steps that are being taken to increase competition and to create better opportunities for small businesses. So it's really the sum total of all 3 prongs of his policies that are working to create a strong economy, but also an economy that will be resilient for the long term because we're investing in infrastructure. And just yesterday, as you know, the president announced over $40 billion in investments in high-speed internet as part of an overall program over 2 different laws that is going to lead to every household in America having access to high-speed internet, which is very similar to the approach that we saw in the Rural Electrification Act undertaken by Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Andrea?
Yeah, thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you about this boom in construction manufacturing and whether you think that, in combination with the new housing starts that we saw, where the numbers also went up in May, will lead to some relief on the housing price issue that could help with inflation. And then I want to ask you about the overall outlook for the economy, whether you're more confident now that there will be a soft landing and that a recession can be avoided.
Yeah, so I think it is going to be important over a medium term of several years to see greater housing supply, and that will help to provide longer term solutions. But even in the short run, if you look at the data on rent, for instance, the average rent is projected to come down for Americans over the second half of this year, providing really important relief to a lot of American families. What was the second part of your question?
Can a recession be avoided?
So in terms of, where we are on the economy, what has been interesting is, there have been these repeated predictions, and yet what we've seen in the actual data has been a lot of resilience. So again, we're continuing to see strong labor market, low unemployment. We've actually seen that stretch of a strong labor market improve due to the very large increase we've seen in participation of working age Americans. And so there are reasons to think that we are going to continue to see resilience against a backdrop of what we have referred to as more stable economic growth.
Kellya?